is joint pain holding you back in menopause? Because when you want to lose weight, it's hard, isn't it? Because we can get joint pain, and it can hold us back in terms of exercise as well. So if we're trying to lose weight, it's really hard, isn't it? It's hard getting up, get these joint aches and pains and things like that. I remember getting a frozen shoulder, and it's just painful. It just really is. And a lot of women suffer from it when they go through menopause too. And there is a reason around that, is because obviously estrogen, I know I keep talking about estrogen, but estrogen drops, okay? And that causes inflammation in the body. Your joints are less lubricated. Estrogen is a miracle hormone. It really, really is. So, and it does help lubricate the joints. A lot of our kind of internal organs aren't lubricated. Everything's just not lubricated as what it used to be in all areas, right? So, but what actually happens is, when people get this, when women get this, they're less likely to exercise because they're just in pain. They're popping painkillers, and then, if they're eating bad, they're not exercising. It just has this knock-on effect. And, all these, as we're aging, it just gets harder and harder and harder. So there are a lot of things you can do, but inactivity makes it worse. And avoiding the movement isn't great either. So really the answer is really just getting into some walking, some gentle exercise if you can. And what you really want to do is you want to reduce the inflammation in your body, because it's happening naturally whether you like it or not. And you can do that through a few things. You can definitely do it through your diet. So obviously, you want to get rid of the sugar, the inflammatory foods. You want to stop that blood sugar increase, because that's when it's doing damage in your body. When your blood sugar increases, you want to try to keep the blood sugar even, Stephen. And yeah, so you want to really, just get into a really good diet. And there are some supplements as well too. So some supplements like omega-3, turmeric. You can and all the different types of foods that are anti-inflammatory foods as well. It's kind of like when you're eating like that, it's like almost like the Mediterranean diet. It's very similar. Lots of fruits, salads, vegetables. Definitely some good quality supplements. Omega, because we don't really eat enough fish anyway. So omega is really good. And another one is, because we're naturally stressed anyway. So another one is you want to get into some really good sort of relaxation techniques. I know you're probably thinking, oh yeah, here we go. But it's even more important as you age to really get into these relaxation techniques. Lately, I bought a sauna blanket. So I just felt my anxiety was quite high, even though, I'm eating healthy and all that sort of stuff. So it's naturally increasing at the moment, going through menopause. So I just only of late, obviously I'm exercising, all that sort of thing, but I need to do something else. So I've got a sauna blanket. So I've been getting into that every night, and just really, I've got a meditation device called Muse, and really calming down before I jump into bed. And that's made a massive difference for me. I'm going to tell you that right now. I know you think relaxation practices, whatever, but that can be just as little as, I have talked about it before, and that's, box breathing. Just even when you're in the car, just diaphragmatic breathing, where you're breathing in with your tummy and out, like just try to do as much as you possibly can to bring that cortisol down. And then, because when we've got high cortisol, that increases stress, and then that makes the joints stiffer and everything like that, because it's increasing inflammation. So, the relaxation practices are really, really important. And also things like environmental toxins as well can produce inflammation in the body. Our water, it's got a lot of toxic chemicals in it. We also plastics, things like that, like drinking out of plastic bottles, all that sort of stuff. has a massive effect. I could go on. I could probably go on and on and on, but the environmental toxins in our environment, cooking in, in plastics, but also, things like BPA and things like that, but also cooking in the non-stick pans and things like that emits gases and toxins as well. So, but there's also some bloods you can get to see if you do actually have more, inflammation in the body. There's a few blood testing that you can get that can see how far those measurements are. So, so the three of them are creatine kinase, creatine protein, and also cytokines as well too. So I've been getting a lot of testing done myself and looking into all the types of blood testing you can do to really hone in on the problem. Because if you can hone in on the problem, then you can find the solution instead of putting blanket problems on top of it. Really get to the solution. So there's a lot of things you can do around joint pain for sure, but definitely movement, getting into the diet, relaxation practices, getting rid of toxins, looking at your bloods as well, getting those tested, and then 8 weeks time do another test and see if all that sort of stuff works, and then just to keep testing the bloods, because there's so many things you can test through blood testing, where you can put all these things in place and then just watch those numbers get better, because you're working towards that. So I love testing. I think if you're not testing, you're second guessing, but it really is something that you can work towards. You can see the improvements for sure, definitely. And it's you don't have to suffer in silence. Just because you're getting older doesn't necessarily mean you have to suffer in silence. So, you can claim your body back. You are the CEO of your health, and you can do everything. You can do anything and everything in your possible willpower to get on top of your health as well. And you certainly can. I know I can, and I help people do that. So have a great Wednesday. Thanks for chiming in for Wednesday Wellness. We'll see you next week.